The only way I can interpret that, John, is the same kind of like it was a tweet I saw a while ago about it, which was like something like, "Are you ready for the ultimate cheesy flavor?" or something like that, and then the person saying, "I'm not my dysfunctional brain. I'm not certain if I'm allowed to be happy," which it's a familiar struggle. Ooh. It can be difficult to convince yourself you're worth it. I'm extremely lucky in that I can offload part of that to Peak, who is very happy to remind me whenever I need a reminder. Why don't you play some Shell Shock or go with your friends? Because this is the stream week for, well, I say stream week. This is the stream series for The Outer Worlds, continuing through until I'm done with the game. Also, I'm not super into Shell Shock Live, actually. Like, I liked playing Shell Shock Live as something that I would put on in the background while I just talked with Orbital and chat. Shell Shock Live itself isn't really super my jam. Rhapsody, did you like the Rhapsody song lyrics that was left on one of your modded Slay the Spire episodes? Which one? Was it recent? I hereby allow all of you to be happy as a representative of the Happy Corporation. I'm sorry, I'm anti-corporate. I'm just gonna have to stay sad. I'm happy at least. Make us happy, Rhapsody, and we're happy for your happiness. I like that we can form an Ouroboros, hopefully, of happiness. Except for the auto-cannibalism that's inherent in the idea of an Ouroboros. So I need to make Tato speak to you. Tatus talks to me occasionally. Usually it's, hey, this new game is coming out. Have you seen it? And me doing the inverse as well. Actually, hang on. I think I have one more mission to complete in this area also. Also do need to change my hat back. Okay. Was it another pickup on Scylla? It was. It's, yeah, no, because we have the legendary weapon here as one of them. There we go. Search the outpost for the weapon. Fine. I'll just take the same two. Ouch. Something stuck in my eye. Sorry about that. Whew. Oh, God. Sorry. Actually painful. Must have been dust or something. So it's over in the outpost. I probably have a teleport to that. Almost certainly, right? Yeah. It's just one of these doors that I haven't opened. Wonder what happened if you took Sam to get high? Oh my... Did anyone actually do that? Take Sam to go for the trip? Because if so, I need to... Just a straight up door that I didn't open. Probably the only one I didn't open. It had the science weapon. Remarkable. Alright, which one is it? Sniper? No, it's a mandibular rearranger. One-handed melee, tiny damage. Has a stagger effect. This weapon was created by an unknown and possibly quite deranged scientist. Exactly how it works and why is a mystery, and it's never been duplicated. It's extremely, extremely high in value, but look at that DPS. You meant to get a screenshot of the companion select screen with everyone having the moon helmet on, but you were too slow? Dang. I'll make sure to hover on it for a second, specifically for you. It's also pristine. Okay, there we go. Increasing your science skill causes enemies to be frozen for a long duration. Strange one-handed melee weapon that rearranges the facial bones of any human target that strikes. Blows to any target slow them down, and repeated hits will eventually cause them to stop moving for a period of time. So effectively, if you had this and a really, really high attack speed, maybe it was okay. So Rhapsody song was left on... Oh, that's not even a modded episode. I don't necessarily remember that. How recently was it left? Silly, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Ban for Life. Much appreciated. Ban for Life, enjoy your moments in chat, and welcome to the Republic. Alright. bounce out of here. Oh. Just gonna move the mouse off screen as well. Yeah. That's the Moonman squad. Also, Raps, is there any way to find the totally no MK Ultra join the Moon Crew video? I mean on the YouTubes? Yeah. I left that up there. You also need to do the Felix mission. That's a really good point, well made. That's a really good point, well made. Let's do Felix plus Pavati. You know what? I don't take Ellie out enough. Let's take Felix plus Ellie. Immediately get back on the ship, and then we'll go to the other landing pad. Yeah, the Moon Crew video should just be in my recent uploads. Unfortunately, because I titled it with Zalgo text, you can't actually search for it with Join Our Moon Crew or anything like that. And then I didn't give it like any tag data or anything like that either.
Would you ask Parvati to
I actually posted it to the Outer Worlds subreddit because I was like, people in the Outer Worlds subreddit seem to be into Martin and seem to be into the idea of a Moon Crew, because there are actually a couple of posts about Moon Crews already. Immediately teleported there, perfect. But it didn't do well, so I just deleted it. Is it just you, or did Atomicrops get even more difficult since the update? Yep. I mean, Atomicrops included Year 2, which is actually, like, the Atomicrops previously had Year 1 and Year 2, but Year 2 wasn't different. Year 2 is now different. Enemies fire slightly faster, they have slightly more health. Nothing there that I need to worry about. They fire slightly faster, they have slightly more health, and there are certain enemies that appear in and amongst the weeds. They're also actually quite frustrating to deal with.
Those guys are...
Hey, you. Looking for something?
Kurt?
Where do you think you're going?
Ooh, love a good intimidate here. Felix Millstone's with me. Clyde Harlow's expecting us. Or through you if you push me. First.
Yeah. The captain said we might be getting a new recruit. That you then?
Sounds like Clyde's jumping to conclusions, but yeah, I'm Felix.
You're on a first-name basis with Captain Harlow, huh? All right, go on through.
All right, is this gonna be like another kind of like anarchist squad?
God,
oh! Number one, nice gimp mask. Number two, we've killed many of your friends. Sorry about that. Cool. Again, let's try and make sure that the facility broadly doesn't have any secrets that I need to worry about before I actually encounter people. Never mind, I can't even jump onto that. Oh, right, because I actually, I locked my ability to use the dash going forwards. That makes sense. Do drugs? Right now? I mean, 3 hours left in the stream. It's not 3 hours, it's two and a half. All right. Nothing on nothing, let's go in. Broadly. Not gonna need to steal any of this. We're pretty much beyond that. Standard troop armor down to Verity's breath inhalant. Focus all capsule. Nope, don't need to. Don't need any of those either. I'm just looking for notes effectively. Another vending machine. Let's just go straight through the back then. Alright. Logs. Acquisition logs. Independent freighter Cat's Meow. Okay, so we actually know about this, right? Cat's Meow was the name of one of the ships that was taken down in the logs we'd read earlier. Getaway sticks, subversive literature, brought down... Ooh, subversive literature could actually be useful. Brought down salvage cargo, crew joined up. You ransomed the crew, or the crew jettisoned in escape pod. Oh, right. I'm assuming they did that themselves, right? Getting off now, it's late in UK land. Good night all. Good night, Herpedoni. Thank you for tuning in. Werewolf engine parts. Okay, as usual, we were able to intercept these ships despite how cleverly they masked their heat signatures. Our patron pulled through again with the tracking data. Don't ask how they got their hands on it, but we're in no position to refuse charity. Our patron. Okay. Memo. Crew. This is Harlow's voice as well. I'm beginning to wonder about our patron. When we opened up our scanners and sniffed the system for our latest Wildcat, we picked up a signal from a corporate freighter nearby. It was hauling 10 times more cargo than our target. No sooner did we scan it than a message came through, ordering us to go after the Wildcat instead. Something doesn't add up, and until I get answers, stay skeptical. So they're effectively just trying to pass off aggro to other freighters. So it will be like a larger corporation like UDL or something like that. Silly, thank you very much for gifting a T1 sub to Knight. Much appreciated. Knight, enjoy your emotes in chat and welcome to the Republic. Return to root of lost entry. Pirate code. Rule number 1, Harlow's the boss. Rule number 2, fuck the board. Rule number 3, why are you still reading, pig? Wake up. If you're reading this, the board already owns you. You went looking for the rules. Why? Because life's a game to you. Maybe you like being played. You guzzle down that sense of security like it's purple berry flavored opium. Fuck rules and fuck terminals. It's not a revolution if we're using the weapons they raised against us time and time again, from the front lines to the riots to the corporate sit-ins and... Error, document pirate's code has exceeded character limit. If only it went on for a couple more paragraphs, I was ready. Yeah, so ooh, there we go.
No jobs, no contracts in weeks.
Safecracker's jacket, skill bonus, lockpick plus 10. Now, the thing is, I don't actually need this, but it would mean that if I ever respect, I would have the ability to, what? I could have 70? Yeah, because I have a lockpicking helmet, right? And I have armor skill bonuses ×2. So if I had a lockpicking helmet that just has +5 on it, and this, I would get +30 to my lockpicking and be able to do any 30s. That does save me 20 points. That's worthwhile. Maxwell, thank you very much for gifting a random tier 1 sub and going to Marshall Cadorna. Much appreciated. Marshall Cadorna, enjoy your words in chat and welcome to Republic. Hello, missed last stream. What happened? We accidentally mistaked. Unfortunately, oh damn, that worked. The outlaw didn't even see me. Wild. Unfortunately, Zora did not want to make peace because I killed Graham at the wrong time for the quests. So I just gave the entire area to the Iconoclasts. Yeah, that's Harlow, I had to expect. Just making sure there's an escape route. Just plan that out a little bit at least. Alright. Oh, Marlowe is your companion. Neat. Hello, Marlowe.
Well, hey there, Hullhead. Clawed your way out of the groundbreaker at long last?
Uh-huh. Oh, sorry, were you expecting me to say something? Maybe a long time no see or a you've aged, old man?
Well, this is awkward. I'll let you two work it out. No, it's fine. I'll do my own introductions. Ryan, Harlow, Ryan. I'm doing that one.
Your captain has a sense of humor, Felix. Good. There's a time and place for humor.
Oh.
So, you took Felix under your wing. Kept him busy. Good. Kid always needed a place to belong.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but he's earned his keep with us.
Hear that, Clyde? I've been making something out of myself.
So long as you haven't been making a fool of yourself. I'm sure Felix has no end of stories to tell of your exploits together. I look forward to catching up with the boy.
What? How long is that going to take? We've got places to be. Tell me why we're here. I mean, I do want to ask this question, but I don't want to end it without asking why we're here.
I'm working on something. Something big. Something the like of which Halcyon has never seen. And I want Felix to be a part of my initiative. I'm fulfilling a promise I made to the boy, that one day, he and I would change the colony together. That day has finally arrived.
Easy there, Clyde. No one said nothing about throwing in with you. In case you didn't notice, I'm pretty happy where I am.
I'm not asking you to walk away from your captain, Felix. But neither should you allow yourself to be controlled by fear. Change is not to be feared. I brought you here because I want to know where Felix's loyalties lie. When the day of our revolution comes, I want to know that I can rely on him.
You expect me to hand over my own crew? Go fuck yourself. Good luck. He's the least reliable crew on a ship literally called the Unreliable. Then allow me to enlighten you. Felix is loyal to me. I'm not going to say any of those ones. Let's go. You want to put him through a test.
Everyone in my crew proves their loyalty. No exceptions. Not even Felix. I want you to deal with a traitor for me. Name's Trask. Kill him. and bring me proof of his death. His ring should do nicely.
What did Trask do to deserve death? You can't control your own people, Harlow? Well, let's pretend I take care of that problem. What happens after that first?
Ratted us out to the board. He's been an informant. Has been for years. When he realized I was onto him, he and his little cadre mutinied. Killed 5 of my own and tucked tail. I don't know where he's hiding, but his wife might. Rosanna. Lives on the Groundbreaker last I checked. Rosanna knows my crew by name and face, but you're a stranger to her. She'll talk to you.
I didn't like the idea of killing someone for you, but someone who's killed multiple people on their way out and they're a corporate spy, I mean, maybe. What do you think, Felix? There's more to this than you're letting on, but I'll ask about the Felix thing in a bit. Unfortunately, I don't think that what do you think, Felix, will give me any more information, given Felix' daft disposition.
You think so? Maybe we should have a word with Trask. Get his side of the story first.
You'd be wasting your breath bandying words with that traitor. But if it makes you feel better, by all means. Remember, I want proof. Bring me his ring. I don't care if the hand's still attached. Here, my token. Think of this as my personal signature. Anyone who knows me by my works will know me by this token.
Token. How well do you know Felix?
Well enough. It's been a few years, but I still remember a thing or two. You had a chip on your shoulder. You'd argue over anything, and you'd never back down.
What do you mean, had? And for the record, you never could admit when you lost an argument.
You see what I had to deal with?
Alright, okay, so he's stubborn, looking for a cause to fight for, that kind of thing.
Let's hear it.
Alright, what's the questions? Felix tells me you disappeared one day. You said you were working on something big. I'm gonna ask the Felix one first.
I was working on this plan for years, saving every bit I could, drawing plans, biding my time. I never intended to spend my life laboring on the Groundbreaker. When the opportunity presented itself, I did what I had to do. I left.
You might have said something.
I had some ugly business in Scylla. If I told you, I would have implicated you.
You want to elaborate on that?
Hephaestus controlled mining operations all over Scylla. Most of these operations failed. The company pulled out and abandoned their facilities. Mostly abandoned anyway. This one was running on a skeleton crew. My associates and I seized control in a matter of minutes.
You said you were working on something big. What is it?
A revolution is the work of a lifetime, Captain. I've spent my life preparing for the day of Halcyon's reckoning. Everything you see around you is the result of that preparation. A base of operations, loyal soldiers, freedom from the board's oversight.
Okay. Sounds like you've got some plan to overthrow the board. Sounds so you're a band of outlaws living on the edge of an asteroid. Some revolution. Yeah, I do actually want to say that. Like, I don't want it to be, like, crushing to the idea of a revolution, but, I mean, I do want to know that you have more resources than this. What makes you think you're free? But let's go for the band of outlaws first.
Not all revolutions involve bloodshed and fire, Captain. The purest act of rebellion is to live according to one's own means, independent of any masters. One day, when the board is weak and Halcyon vulnerable, we may claim a piece of this system for ourselves. Until then, we bide our time.
All right, what makes you think you're free?
The skies around Scylla are curiously absent of patrol ships. It's almost as if the board's sphere of influence is shrinking. Besides, our facility is well armed and located on defensible terrain. If the board tries to lay siege to us, we'll make them pay.
Sounds like you've got some plan to overthrow the board.
Hardly. The board is rotting from the inside. Tomorrow, next year, a generation from now, eventually, the board will fall to pieces.
Doesn't sound like a revolution.
Entropy is the natural state of the universe, Captain. All systems inevitably dissolve. When that day comes to Halcyon, we will be ready.
All right. So if you're waiting for it to dissolve, why... Like, yes, you're making preparations, but why is there something that we need to do for you? Other than the Trask thing, right? How do you need someone to play a role if you don't necessarily know when it is going to dissolve, especially if it could be a generation from now?
Something on your...
Yeah, Harlow, I don't necessarily think your plan is extremely well thought through. Ellie wants to know if we can talk, all right? What's up?
So, we're just gonna march straight into Byzantium and acquire some rare chemicals right under the board's nose? I sure hope you negotiated for a raise with this Phineas guy.
Why do you say that this isn't about money? I mean to get my due at the end of this. This isn't about money.
Uh-huh. Sure. Everybody's got an angle. I'm just wondering what yours is.
Phineas has been trying to do good for the colony and I want to help. I don't know. Just been going along with him for now. Phineas rescued me from the hope. At least I can do is see him through, or he's paying. That's not for me. It's the first one, definitely.
I knew a doctor like him once. He had a patient complaining of ankle pain, so he amputated the man's foot. Wasn't even the right one. Point is, good intentions don't count for shit. And nothing's more dangerous than a crusader with a cause. Besides, none of this is your mess, so why go dirtying your hands with it?
If Halcyon goes down, we all do. I'll do what I can to fix it because it's the right thing to do. I hadn't thought about it that way. Maybe you're right. I've got no connections here, but if I play my cards right, I can come out on top because it's the right thing to do. I mean, the idea of our character is they are kind of like an ethical crusader of a kind, at least.
Hate to say it, but the right thing rarely pays well. The board's put a bounty on his head, and they've got more than enough bits to pay it. I've got no love for the corporations, but they know how to take care of their people. The ones at the top, anyway.
Might as well aim high. The board's corrupt, or I'm not going to become some corporate lackey. The board's corrupt.
Everyone is. The board just pays the best. I know you want to save the day, but don't forget to look after yourself. No one else out here's going to.
Thanks for the advice. Oh, Ellie, I didn't know you cared. That's for sure. You're wrong about that. You're wrong about that.
Hey, I'm not trying to piss on your bonfire. But you ought to hear this from someone, and it might as well be an ally with a financial interest in your well-being. Anything else?
Any thoughts on Felix's friend?
Something about this Harlow guy isn't on the up and up.
You want to expand on that?
Come on, Felix. He's obviously up to something.
Harlow, do you want to get in this conversation? You say that about everyone. I don't know. Felix seems to trust him. Agreed, or I don't want to hear about it. Agreed, actually.
Glad it's not just me. The way Harlow is leaning on his revolutionary bona fides, not to mention his knowing Felix back in the day, something about it feels off.
Clyde's a decent fellow. I mean, it's not like I'd take up with some double-dealing crook, right?
Sure, Felix. You wouldn't do that. Ellie, you're describing convictions and friendships. I mean, kind of, yeah. Ellie is extremely skeptical about almost everything interpersonal.
And you're acting like those things are normal.
They are for most people. I must be going soft. I must be going soft, actually.
You can fit most of what drives people onto a bit cartridge. The minute someone claims highfalutin notions, they're either lying to you or lying to themselves.
No.
Or worse.
Nope. People's good nature exists. Sorry. Altruism is a thing that does exist. This broad idea that there is no actual altruism is something that's used to underscore like a large amount of especially libertarian and conservative politics. No. Wrong. It's extremely not true. People want to live in happiness and live by each other's happiness.
1 in 1,000 actually means it. Nothing more dangerous than an idealist.
Let's change the subject.
Something on your mind?
I mean, we can't do the if we're gonna work together thing yet, apparently. Although it should have like a quest option behind it. I actually, Peak did tell me that I just haven't hit the flag yet for doing her quest.
Something on your mind?
I needed to know just to make sure that I didn't accidentally, you know, finish the game before I even did her quest. Let's go find Trask. Actually, how large is this? Tiny. Ellie and Felix both need to level up though. Oops. So, Ellie, you are less threat generated. Give you range damage. Ranged. Showtime. Duration of status effects. I don't remember what the status effects inflicted by your thing is. Or are, rather. Status effects. Quick draw. It bleeds and disarms. Yeah? I mean, throwing a bleed and a disarm for 20% extra duration both seems pretty important. Felix, your dropkick is like straight up disable, stagger and concuss. Yeah, the longer that takes effect for, the significantly better off we are. Extra the base health, extra cowering enemies, no one to go melee damage, extra damage to corporate military, I do love. But companion of valor, no, let's just do that. I mean, it's even got the Moonman mask in it. It's absolutely perfect, although it has the Moonman mask dying. Chance to reset the ability on cooldown. I mean, I think actually what I do now is probably extra armor rating. No. No tier 4 for you. So that's already this whole area explored. Let's tag the quest correctly. Phineas's contact is Mr. Clark at Byzantium Docks. Solution Vital is... So we actually do have two things back in the Groundbreaker. We've got this, and then we've also got the discussion with Rosanna. Rufus Trask has gone into hiding. So that is actually this quest as well. Give these core clans to Nyoka. Let's do that. And that's back in Byzantium. Okay. So back on the ship, we should be able to advance or resolve one of these. Then get to Groundbreaker and advance or resolve 3 others. Sorry, 2 others. Neat. So Scylla did actually turn out to be an incredibly small planet. If Byzantium is also kind of small, then we might actually be in the end stretch of the game. As in, like, possibly finish tomorrow?
Some crew members are causing a disturbance on the ship.
Now, hold on. What happens if we hit the wall?
I've already seen this conversation before.
Most likely, the bullet will
Alright, Nyoka.
be back.
Let's just talk.
Hey, Cap.
These glands are gross. Please, take them.
Outstanding. These ought to be enough. Let's get back to Monarch. There's an old base I used to call home. I can get us in the door, but we'll have to shoot our way through the Queen's brood to get to the center. We'll set the bait there. Password to the door is Charon.
Okay, I didn't know we were going for a whole extra mission. It's about time. We're gonna go kill a Manta Queen. What's Charon? Well, the servant on the ferry to the afterlife, right?
Hayes' idea. Clara, Hayes, Anders, Rebecca, Opal, Nyoka. Charon. He said it was some old myth. Something about death and all the things we killed. Rest of us just thought it sounded cool, so here we are.
That's extremely dope. A group of friends of mine and myself call ourselves the Companions, which is the capital letter of many of our names. But unfortunately, Companions doesn't have an R in it, so my name is Orion. I'm just one of the O's. Pretty much everyone has like a malformation of their name in order to fit in as well. It's about time we're gonna go killing Manta Queen.
Fucking right we are.
Remind me, what's the base again?
It's an old cave system we tried to turn into an encampment. You'll see when we get there.
Let's do it then. Alright, so if we have to go to Monarch now... My health is not regenerating at all. What's up with that? What is happening? My character just won't regenerate at all? Confidence, sniper, makes sense. No sure what's actually doing this at this point. Alright. Well, the easiest ones to do are on Groundbreaker, so we'll go there first. Byzantium's like a medium-sized planet.
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking.
You think I ran out of Adreno? Really? Oh, damn, I really did. What?
Captain, you're free to disembark.
How?
I think I'll initiate an unscheduled rest cycle.
I don't know why it untagged them there. Okay, so if we're resolving the missions on this, obviously we need Felix because we're progressing one of them. The other mission here. What is the other mission on the Groundbreaker, right? There's Felix's one. Just Felix's one, right? Take Felix and Ellie, I guess.
While you're out.
Come on. Perfect. Through that, so I can go journal. Actually, mark one of these. Solution for right. Of course, Captain Irene in the delivery. That's just in the med bay. And then not sure where Rosanna is, so yeah, I'll tag this. It looks like she might be in the bar. No, actually, she's even closer than that. Yeah, she'll just be standing like outside in the main areas. Easy. No, she is in the bar. Hell yeah. Glad to be incorrect. I mean, also, like, this can't have just been an area exclusively for drinking with Pavati, so it makes sense.
You mind trying to have a moment here?
I like the eyeliner. Looking for a guy by the name of Rufus Trask. I'm told he lived around here. Are you Rosanna Trask? I'll just excuse myself. Fine, I'll just excuse myself. And don't mind me. I'm just going to quickly pop on a hat, and then let's have a discussion. Are you Rosanna Trask?
Yeah, I was called that once upon a day. You need something?
I'm looking for a guy by the name of Rufus Trask. Told he live around here.
Rufus and I are no longer on speaking terms. I don't know where he is. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
Fair enough. Must leave. I'm on the level. You can ask Julie about me. Harlow sent me to find him, or show her Harlow's emblem. If you know where Trask is, you want to tell me. I'm on the level.
You're telling me you're on a first-name basis with Ms. Tennyson?
I'm not one of Harlow's thugs. You can trust me. I repaired the Groundbreakers radios for her.
Yeah, the promenade doesn't feel like I'm walking the surface of Tartarus. So that was you, huh? Rufus is hiding out in Emerald Vale. Got a few friends with him. That's as much as I know.
Emerald Vale. I got a few more questions, though.
Please, just make it quick.
You and Trask split up? How much do you know about Harlow? Harlow tells me Trask betrayed him. Do you know anything about that? We'll go top down.
That's right. Our marriage contract expired some months ago. And seeing how he's technically an outlaw, I wouldn't renew even if I wanted to.
Okay, well, that tells us a little bit about the world as well. How much do you know about Harlow?
Precious little. He and Rufus worked together on the Groundbreaker some years back before he vanished. A few years later, Rufus gets a message from an old friend. Something about starting a revolution, something about getting rich. Abandoned his work and ran off that very day.
Sounds familiar, Felix. Harlow tells me that Trask betrayed him. Let's go for the first one.
He must have been recruiting, gathering up his band of revolutionaries.
Word of advice, kid? Anybody carrying on about a revolution just wants to sell you something. I don't know Harlow. Never so much as bandied a word with the fellow. You're better off having this discussion with Rufus.
Harlow tells me that Trask betrayed him. Do you know anything about that?
Only that Rufus is in a bad way. He came to see me a little ways back. Said he had to go into hiding. Never asked why. He was here to collect his personals, complain about Harlow to me, and say goodbye. In that order.
He didn't tell you anything about Harlow?
No, and he was particular about that. Said I was better off not getting entangled in his mess. Little late for that, says I.
That's all I needed to know.
Appreciate it. No offense meant. Just been a long day is all.
Oh, what a lovely and polite conversation we managed to have. Actually, can I take this?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Please let me steal it.
Crossbow finals are scheduled to air soon.
No one look this way. Can I get my companions to shield me while I do this? They're almost certainly going to see me do this. It's just whether or not I can say, hey, it's fine, let's be friends.
Hey, you trying to get...
What do you think you're doing?
I will leave.
Oh. I guess, never mind then.
Yeah. Never mind, indeed. Obviously, since we are here, we have to say hello to...
You should give our latest product a try. Ollie Ollie Toxi-Free. Now with activated charcoal.
Oh, it's Martin. Hey, Martin. Still wearing the hat?
How observant. I'm authorized to state that this uniform is more than headgear. It's a state of mind, and our customers know the difference.
Alright. Good to see you too, Martin. Can't believe Felix didn't even acknowledge that he was wearing one as well. Alright, hey, there you are, Dorset.
Were I a gambling woman, I'd wager you're responsible for my mechanical safe return. I can't thank you enough.
Oh, it's just a straight up hand in. For now. Cool. Just bounce with a bunch of extra experience. Not too far from level 26 at the moment. And I'm actually getting back into a decent amount of bits. Neat. Extremely neat. So after we bounce out of this area, we go to maybe Groundbreaker. Because not Groundbreaker, sorry. Maybe the Terra 2 and go to Edgevale. Edgewater, rather. Did you already do the repack weapons upgrade? Yep. And in doing so, I managed to make all of my weapons, save the Thunder, because I don't really care about the Thunder too much, into pristine.
Discussing the latest
Cool. Hold to repair all the equipped ones. Gotta make sure to do that on the ship, because it's less expensive when I do it there. Edgewater. Just because there's not going to be that many reasons to come back to Edgewater past this point, so I can't just like accumulate a bunch of Edgewater missions and then finish all of them at the same time. So Edgewater, this was Trask. Take Felix, and I mean it could take Pavati a bit. I should probably take someone who hasn't been on this planet, like Nyoka. Help the Chairman and Minister Clark. So Chairman Rockwell, Minister Clark. There's one other name of like a leader on the board that my character knows. Can't summon it to mind rightly at the moment though. Okay, so it's not actually through Edgewater. We'll just run on the outsides. Thankfully, this area should be, you know, completely trivial in terms of enemies, so it should just basically be how fast can I run there. Actually, hang on. There are teleports across this area as well. I may as well take advantage of one. Alright. Unfortunately, like, I remember the outskirts of this area being impassable terrain. Yeah, they're just straight up mountains. See, the map is slightly topographical, so it makes me a little concerned that I can't see. Oh, no. It's actually down, not up. Alright, we'll be fine then. Fine. Let's just see how many of these we can get down real quick. Extremely few, as it turns out. Hunting rifle needs to be just a little faster if I want to use it in TTD.
Don't mess with us.
Right. Guessing this is the pass through.
Opening fire.
That'll learn him.
Yep, good weapon. Good weapon, as it turns out. Ooh, oh, this is the cannons area. Yeah, this is one that we actually cleared out, like, I want to say about 40 minutes into the game. I should actually confront them, though. Fine. Make sure that I'm wearing the right hat for a confrontation. And I do have Nyoka in the party, so my lie is actually higher right now, right? A little. Hey, Roof.
I don't know who you are or why you're prowling around here, but I'm willing to make a guess. You're one of Harlow's gun hands, ain't you? He sent you after me.
Yep. You want to tell me where to find you? What makes you think I work for Harlow? That's right. Harlow said you betrayed him. Yeah, let's get straight into it.
Yeah, of course he did. Thing is, you and I are at an impasse. Harlow wants me dead, and I've got no intention of dying.
Why did you betray Harlow?
How do I know that I can trust you?
What's the worst that could happen? Harlow sends a stranger with a gun after you? If I wanted to kill you, we wouldn't be having this conversation. First one.
Yeah, guess that's a fair point. Listen, I don't know what lies Harlow's ripped down your ear, but you'd be a fool to trust him. I never betrayed Harlow. Harlow betrayed all of us. The board's got him in their pocket, been paying him off for years. All the palaver about revolutions? It's a lie.
You're a real piece of work, Trask. Not just a turncoat, but a liar, too.
Go piss up a rope, kid. I've got nothing to prove to you. That's the whole truth. Harlow's just another board asset. A two-bit mercenary wearing a dissident's clothes.
You're gonna ask me to take your word? Show me some evidence. Fair. I'm not gonna kill you, Trask, but I am gonna ask for your ring. Hold on, you've got some explaining to do. You're saying Harlow's been using me. I'm gonna go for the first one.
Yeah, I've got proof. There's always a paper trail when the board's involved. I chanced upon some correspondence between Harlow and his employer. I don't know that it makes a difference. What was I to do with that evidence? Bring it in front of the board? There's no authority in Halcyon willing to take Harlow to task.
Temperament? Yeah, there is. You're looking at her. Finally! It's paid off.
Huh. You ain't like other board agents I heard about. You got a functioning spine. You want to confront Harlow yourself? Be my guest. I hid my papers before Harlow chased me out. Back in the middle of the base, there's an old vent in a utility corridor. I stashed my evidence in that vent.
I think I actually know where that is. What was Harlow doing for the board? Why would the board pay off Harlow? Let's go for the first.
Because he's for sale. Anything the board can buy, the board will buy. And that includes loyalty. Harlow was a charismatic bastard, and he was ruthless. With Harlow in their pocket, the board had an informant, a pirate, a smuggler, and a gang leader all rolled up into one odious excuse for a human being. Sounds like a deal to me.
What was Harlow doing for the board?
Board-sanctioned piracy. Harlow went after the ships the board wanted destroyed, capturing anybody the board wanted captured. If we captured you, we'd ransom you. Harlow liked to do the job himself. Gather up the captives on his own ship, vanish for a couple of days. Only that's not what happened. Harlow's been selling his captives off to the board. I don't know where they ended up. Re-education, Tartarus, maybe worse.
Damn it. Why must you complicate my life?
Take it you've made up your mind.
I'm not gonna kill you, Trask, but I am gonna ask for your ring.
You gonna tell Harlow I'm dead? May as well. I'm never going back to that life again. Here, take the ring. And for what it's worth, my gratitude.
Take care. I'm kidding. Let's actually go find the evidence first. I need to make certain that I kill the right person. I can't unfire a gun. Well, unless I load the quick save that I did just before it, but let's pretend that's not possible. Right, Clyde, your evidence was on Scylla in Harlow's base. There's also stuff on Scylla landing pad that I actually have to do at this point. That surprises me. Why would that be? I don't understand which mission would actually be completed there. Felix and Yoko, just give another warning shot straight through the cranium. It's where I want all of my warning shots to go. They all just happen to miss. It's a pretty good warning when there's a bullet rattling around on the inside of your skull. So Trask's evidence, Clyde Harlow in there. Fine. Yeah, that is actually the corridor I thought it was going to be in. Let's break our legs. Perfect. Hell yeah, this is literally exactly where I thought it was going to be. Perfect. Stash receipts. These receipts detail payments made to C. Harlow on behalf of the board for freelancing services, included in the names of several freighters targeted by Harlow's crews, their manifests, and the sum value of all cargo delivered to the board authorities. Taking notes. Return to Harlow with Felix. It's the only way to resolve at this point. The other journal thing is clear out Nyoka's own base. Opal and Clara's bodies are in the cave somewhere. Find the retrieves. Okay. And then don't bite the sun. Yeah, no, there's actually not another mission on Scylla. Don't know why it was telling me there was. That is to say, the other Scylla base. Hey, Harlow.
What's the word?
That you're a traitor? Let me just quickly say the
What's the word?
Thing directly before this. Trask had a lot to say about you, Harlow, or it's done, Trask is dead. So there's two different ways that we can operate here. We can try and try and dupe Harlow into thinking that we're on their side in order to betray them at another point in the future. Or we can be upfront. I don't want to lock myself into the possibility that we, sponsor him effectively by going along with his quest line and then get to a point where we can't turn around. We would still, at that point, have the ability to kill Harlow, but we wouldn't have the ability to, do the quest lines differently. Trask got a lot to say about you, Harlow.
Not surprised. Trask was a dead man trying to negotiate with his own executioner. He'd say anything to preserve his life.
I didn't believe a word he said. Trask told me you'd been working for the board.
That's a damning accusation. Am I right to presume you have some evidence on hand?
You are. You're an asshole, Harlow. That's good enough for me. You've been bought off. I'll get the receipts.
Those papers don't prove a thing. We've all done business with the board. They own the whole damn colony. Trask put you up to this. That miserable wretch. He's trying to undermine everything I stand for.
Perception. When we met, you told me Rask was an informant for the board. You were lying.
You've got a lot of nerve calling me a liar to my face.
Test me. I'm done arguing with you. Trask was right. You deserve to die. Come on, Harlow. Why would Trask rat you out to your own employers?
How should I know? What the hell do I care? Trask was a traitor. I didn't ask you to understand his motives. I asked you to cross him off.
Clyde, look me in the eye and tell me it's not true. Tell me, and I'll believe you.
Don't talk to me like I'm some common criminal, Felix. You're the one on trial, not me. I don't know what kind of poison that snake dripped in your ear, but as far as I'm concerned, you've been compromised.
That gas is incoming!
I'll let Felix do that.
Nice one.
Seems like it'll be good for closure on his part.
That's the last of them.
Thanks, friends. Now I can actually go for the broader loot. Much appreciated. I was sad that I wasn't going to be able to loot all of this stuff. As sad as I am to quash a rebellion, got to make sure that we've got the right rebellion going on.
Here we go.
So do these actually have like an AoE? Because it seems like whenever I kill someone with an in-ray, everyone else takes damage as well. Yeah, it looks like it has a radiation effect broadly. Thank you, Flame. Good to see you. Welcome back to the stream. Is this Felix's companion quest? Yes, it is. That it is. We just resolved it. As you can see by all of the looting and running away. Alright, let's talk to Felix on the ship. It's really unfortunate because as soon as I saw Harlow, I was, Marlowe's still alive? Strange. Yeah, I kind of wanted to find another cause to fight for now that the Iconoclasts are done. Hey, Lego Kirby Twin. Good to see you.
Some
See
crew
that Rito
members
lurk
are
right there?
causing a disturbance on the ship.
Alright. Oh, right. There is something I actually have to do on the ship. Talk to Felix. Got it. Marlowe, not Harlow? Yeah, it was the Canid, but I just don't know why it still had a health bar.
This is definitely not how I imagined it'd end. The void's black, water's wet, and Clyde hated the board. That's something I just knew. Now? I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Yep. Black and white are rarely so clear. Or rather, things are rarely so clear as black and white. You're just gonna have to come to terms with that. You never really know what's going on inside someone's skull. Don't look at me, Felix. I don't think. I just shoot things. You're gonna have to come to terms with that.
I've just got a lot on my mind right now. This is a lot to take in. I always looked up to Clyde. The thought that he could be an agent of the board is just abhorrent to me.
The lesson here is to not look up to anyone. I can understand why you're upset. You felt like he betrayed you, or the board probably offered Harlow a lot of money. Second one.
Yeah, he did. And I'm not sure how I'm gonna get over that.
It'll pass. Give it time. Get drunk. Restart. Cry me a river, Felix. Your childhood friend let you down. Move on. It'll pass. Give it time.
I hope so. I don't see this one passing anytime soon. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm gonna be mulling over this whole mess for a couple of days. Part of me wishes we'd put Trask in the ground. You know, I think that's just my frustration talking. Thanks for your time, boss.
That's another perk point for us. This is going to be really difficult because we don't really have anything that we want to put the perk points on at this point. Hack 7, 14. Yeah, so 14 means like 2 more levels in hack. Right? No, I don't need those, right? Yeah, we had this for a reason, right? Because it was hack 7, 7's 14, and then I also have stealth skills for another 10, so 10, 14, 24. So yeah, we actually only need 2 more in hack in order to be able to consistently hit 100. I do want my Lion Intimidate higher, but I'm going to focus on Sneak. Having that higher sneak attack damage and higher decay rate of awareness of enemies is actually going to be pretty impactful for us. Maybe it's time to increase the vendor buying price. Do we have a couple of those that we can stack? No, I can lower their prices, but I can increase the price that they buy things for. Yeah, if I had 2 that I could stack atop one another, it'd be significantly better. All right, I'm going to lose my movement penalty to accuracy so that I have the ability to just walk through using the N-ray gun and just destroy everything. Pretty sure I have, yeah, a couple pieces of equipment I need to throw in here. Yep, rest of the breakdowns. Security blade. Oof, yikes. Yeah, those are all breakdowns then. Lockpick plus 10. Yeah, so we will keep that. I don't necessarily need it at the moment, but I will keep it broadly. Get rid of that one. Armor ignored by stealth attacks, negative 10%. Unfortunately, the stealth attack is only like the first shot that we fire. This is sneak attack damage plus 10%. This is stealth attacks, armor ignored. Those aren't the same. Are they? Do those ultimately end up being kind of similar? Because if they do, then the Marauder Survivalist helmet is the one that I want to wear, but that also doesn't necessarily look that good. Let's throw all of those in there then. And just get the lockpicking one back. Sweet. And for clearing the rest of the missions, Terra 2. I mean, I could go back and talk to Trask. I kind of want to.